I wanted to do a video about action taking today, for it is Wednesday, and I've done a whole bunch of things this week that have surprised even me, because what I've found is that I've got the Heroic Game Dev group going now. We've got 5 people coming up in group calls. We have a lovely time. We've got goals we've given each other for the week, and yeah, and that includes me, because I know that Carl Jung, for instance, did not give his students anything he didn't want to do himself and hadn't already done himself. So I figured it would be appropriate if I'm handing out goals to my coaching clients there, that I ought to be having some goals as well. So I set some goals about changing how the doodads work in Super Space Galaxy, but in the end it ended up doing a whole bunch of work, very much redoing a number of things about how tiles refresh. Some of that's featured in the previous video I did. But yeah, it's ended up doing a huge amount of work, and it's all been pretty useful. And I think maybe why that happened is partly because I know that being watched kind of helps, knowing that you're accountable to people, and that if you don't do what you said you'd do, people are going to just that they'll know, right? Even if they're somewhere else on the internet, just knowing that they'll know is kind of a big deal. And I hate to be weird about it. It is sort of like a prison. It is almost like a prison. You know, Jeremy Bentham designed this interesting prison called the Panopticon, where there was one guard in the center and a bunch of guys being watched, and the prisoners will behave better. I forget if I think maybe they built one of them or something. I don't really even care if they built one in practice. That's not the point. But assuming they built one of them, the prisoners behaved better because they weren't sure whether they were being watched, and they kind of assumed they were being watched. It was all about efficiently watching people. And if nothing else, I think this shows the power of being watched. And that does sound kind of creepy, but it works. So just knowing that we're all kind of watching each other and looking at, let's just say we have each other's backs, I think that really helps us knuckle down. And the other thing I think about having a group like that is that you end up focusing more on output. I could do a whole other video on focusing on output rather than input, but it seems like people aren't going to be impressed with you doing a bunch of work. They want to know what's different. And now I've got faster refreshing, better programming. I've got better collision boxes and things, and I can show people that stuff, and they go, "Oh yeah, I see it," or at least they'll believe me when I tell them. So I think that's another big use of just having some people who have your back. They will look at the output, and they care less about kind of whether you tried or whether you thought about doing it, or whether you start to focus a lot more on the in-practice output stuff. So yeah, this week I've really been feeling the benefits of having a tribe of other game developers around as well. And it helps that I've seen them making stuff. We've got a guy who made a conservation of mass demo, like an asteroid comes towards you and you shoot the asteroid, and then the asteroid breaks into pieces, which is pretty normal video game fare. But the twist is, it doesn't just inexplicably lose mass. It's like Metal Gear Rising or something. The pieces kind of are the same size in total as the original asteroid, which has a whole bunch of implications we might get into. We'll see what kind of game we can make out of that, but it's a pretty cool demo. And just seeing things like that makes you think, oh, I'd better make something cool as well. And I said, I'll make a different cool thing, darn it. We can all make our own different cool things. So yeah, basically my point is, this week I've really experienced the benefits of having a group. And if you want to be part of a group too, you're welcome to join us in the Discord. There'll be an invite to that in the description down below here on YouTube, because that's hopefully where you're viewing this video. And if you really want to get a kickstart, sign up for a breakthrough call with me. We'll see if you're suitable for the full Heroic Game Developer program, which is what these 5 dudes are in. Only heroes allowed. And also a quick shout out to my Patreon followers, IJK and Thunder Chicken, and I will see you guys in the next Rambly video. Click, click, a booyah.